My name is Nancy Cargill, and I am the CTE Incentive Grant Program Lead. Welcome to our Technical Assistance session on document preparation for the Career and Technical Education Incentive Grants Program. This Technical Assistance session provides the details needed to properly prepare documents for Career and Technical Education, CTE, Incentive Grant and Student Completion Award, SCA, claims, and reduce the chances of denied claims. Please have all staff members associated with gathering, preparing, or submitting documentation for claims attend this session. Consult other training for information on eligibility, how to submit claims, etc. This is the second in a series of 5 technical assistance sessions available. The overview and onboarding session provides program context. It's ideal for newly assigned staff, those who need information for making decisions, such as which certifications to support in their district, and people who want a refresher. This session on document preparation assumes that you've viewed the overview and onboarding session and have a background of the program. The best practices session provides tips and resources for districts or schools to manage their use of the program and ensure smooth operations through transitions. The annual claim submission process session is revised each year and supports district and school staff in submitting high-quality claims and reducing denied claims. It is released each June. The Correcting and Verifying CTE Incentive Grant Claims session provides details on how to use the claims portal's editing and verification features. In this session, we will cover program basics, documentation requirements and preparation. We'll go into detail for business and industry claims and Wisconsin Technical College System claims, and provide some visuals on preparing transcripts. We've got a lot of slides put into the reference slides section specifically to serve as quick references when you have a specific documentation challenge. Finally, we'll cover resources for you if you have problems that you can't resolve by consulting the available training. We'll start with the basic information related to documentation. There are 5 categories of claims. The annual approved certifications list, released each year, is split into the 5 categories. State Certified Skills Co-op, we call it Skills Co-op. Youth Apprenticeship, YA. Business and Industry, B&I. State Approved Wisconsin Technical College Certifications, WTCS. And Certified Pre-Apprenticeship Programs, CPA. Most claims need supporting documentation in the form of a signed and dated certificate from the certification entity that you've selected. A handful of claims require no documentation to be attached to the claim. The annual approved certifications lists show what documentation is required for each specific certification. You can find the lists on the DWD CTE web page. Refer to the list when preparing documents, selecting the options in the portal, and uploading documents. The screenshot on this slide shows that the last column on the approved certifications list specifies the required documentation for each specific certification. Some specific certifications have additional notes about eligibility. In the screenshot on the slide, you can see a single asterisk note for the PMI certification, where the note provides the names of the certificates that need to be uploaded. There is also a double asterisk note for the or any 2 other certifications that specifies that neither of the 2 can be from the PMI series. Be sure to read the notes. Districts are responsible for providing the required documentation for the specific certification. For example, if we require a signed and dated certificate, please don't upload dated exam scores, unsigned certificates, etc. If we require an unofficial college transcript, please don't provide a high school transcript, a college progress report, a college program plan, or a program schedule. If we require a registry number, please don't provide a temporary registry number or one that designates student status or a registry number with asterisks in it. If we require a program number, please don't provide a course number. And if we require a driver's license, please don't upload anything other than the driver's license. Please conduct a quality control check before uploading documents. There are a few certifications that do not require documentation to be uploaded. These certifications are noted on the annual approved certifications list as none in the column for required documentation. Youth apprenticeship claims require no documentation to be attached to the claim, but this assumes that the completed YA checklist has been uploaded to CBASERS by the YA deadline and that the name that the student used when registering for YA is the same as the student's name for the claim. We'll address in a later slide what to do when the names don't match, and this applies to any claim, not just YA claims. The other group of certifications that do not require documentation to be uploaded are the certifications associated with DPI, which are all of the skills co-op claims and a handful of the B&I claims. Specifically, these are assistant childcare teacher and infant toddler. The next group of slides covers documentation requirements and preparation for B&I certifications and CPA, with the exception of those mentioned earlier that require no documentation. The basic requirements for documentation submitted to support B&I claims include that the documentation is a certificate, not an exam score or a score report, etc. It was issued by the certification entity selected. The name on the certificate is the same as the name of the student. Reviewers can figure out logical nicknames, such as Dan instead of Daniel, or Gabby instead of Gabriella. But when there's a greater difference in these, we ask that you attach a letter on district letterhead. Contents of the letter are explained on a later slide. The certification is on the certifications list for the year it was achieved. If the year achieved was different than the student's year of graduation, you'll refer to the list from the year the certification was earned to know that the certification was approved in that year. But you'll also refer to the current year's approved list to know what documentation we're requiring. And the certificate must be signed, dated, and earned before August 31st for a class of 2024 claims. Some certifications are more complicated than others. Microsoft Office Specialist, or MOS, claims can be a challenge due to the statewide program that provides free licenses to every district that has not formally opted out of the program. The program was previously called Microsoft Imagine Academy and is now called Microsoft Learn. The statewide program provides a pack of 125 licenses, or exam fees, for instructors and students to every Wisconsin school district that has not formally opted out of the program. The program will continue to provide additional free licenses in packs of 125 as they are used up. Statutes that authorize the CTE Incentive Grant Program explicitly forbid us from providing CTE district incentive grants when a district used the free licenses. Certiport is the certification entity for MOS certifications, and it provides a report to us annually of the districts that were distributed the free licenses. Certiport's rules for licenses are such that a district that has used the licenses distributed to it either through the free program or by purchasing them, but a district may not use both free and purchase licenses in the same year. There are advantages to remaining in the free program, so if you're still in the free program, ask your Microsoft sales representative for information to help you take full advantage of those benefits or to help you make an informed decision if you're thinking about opting out. The formal opt-out happens only once. Each year thereafter, the district will no longer have the benefits of being in the free program, but can submit claims for the CTE incentive grants. Before creating a Microsoft Office Specialist claim, know that the district was opted out in the year the certificates were earned. Know that the district purchased the licenses used for the certificates. If your district does not have proof of purchase licenses, do not submit the claim. Know that no high school in your district used free licenses that year. Districts are not to mix free and purchased licenses within the same year. Also know which certificates are required to support the claim by referring to the annual approved certifications list. If the reviewer has questions about the use of free versus purchase licenses, you might be asked for additional documentation, such as proof of license purchase. If you suspect an issue with the free versus purchase licenses, proactively reach out to the program lead. If successful resolution in previous years will explain issues your district faces this year, upload the correspondence showing the issue and the resolution at the time that you create the claim. Changes to the MOS requirements were provided on the approved CTE certifications list for 2023 to 24. The changes impact certifications that were earned in the 2023 to 24 academic year and later, but they do not impact requirements for certifications earned in previous years. You'll still use certificates for any 2 Microsoft Office programs if both certificates were earned before July 1st, 2023. Be sure to upload the individual program certificates because the reviewer needs to see the date that each program was completed. This slide pertains to Microsoft Office Specialist certifications earned in the 2023 to 24 academic year and later. Each certificate must be a Microsoft version 2019 or 365 apps. They may be mixed. There is now a choice of the General Associate and the Expert level certifications. Approved Associate certifications are for an entire set of 3 Office programs, with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint being the 3 programs. When a student has earned these 3, a Microsoft Office Specialist Associate certificate can be issued. We'll look for all 4 of these certificates to be uploaded and will greatly appreciate you scanning them into a single PDF. The Expert certifications will be much simpler. We require only the Expert certificate in Word or Excel or Access. We will not enforce the version requirement for certifications earned in the 2023 to 24 academic year. Most B&I claims require certificates, but some require a registry number. Districts are responsible for confirming that the registry number provided in the claim is assigned to the student and not just someone with the same name as the student. When a registry number is provided, no additional documentation needs to be uploaded except with certified nurse aid, which will be covered in more detail in the next slide. Districts should collect registry numbers directly from the students at the time they become registered. Use the registry search tools to verify the numbers provided by the students. When in the registry, make sure that the date of registration is before the certification deadline and it makes sense. For example, would a CNA registration in 2015 make sense for a student who graduated in 2024? Probably not. Do not use the registry search tools to find the numbers. For some documentation, such as IFSAC certificates for fire services, the registry number is directly on the certificate. CNA stands for Certified Nurse Aide, which means that the student took and passed the certification exam and is actually certified to work in a facility that is supported by Medicare. Submitting a claim for CNA means that the student is on the Test Masters Universe, or TM Universe, or TMU registry. This is not the same thing as a student taking the course through the tech college and receiving a technical diploma as a nurse aide. Claims for nurse aide through the tech college need to be submitted under the WTCS category and not B&I. Submitting a claim under the wrong certification category will result in the reviewer requiring the district to make the correction if the claim will be reconsidered for eligibility. New for the class of 2024 is that CNA claims require a completed CNA form to be uploaded to the claim. The form can be found on the DWD CTE webpage through the Training and Resources tab. The steps for preparing your documentation are: 1. Collect the completed form from the student. 2. Verify details on the TM Universe search tool. This means look for a name match. Verify that the name on the registry matches the student. Look for a registry number match. Confirm that the registry number on the form matches the registry number for the student on the TMU registry. Verify that the initial date of registration makes sense for when the student would have taken the course. 3. Verify the date of initial registration and that it's on or before August 31st of the year that the student graduated. Most claims will have only one registration episode, but initial certifications expire after 2 years. Students who achieve certification status early in high school might have a number that is either lapsed or has been renewed, resulting in a second episode or a lapsed certification. We're concerned with the initial date of registration, and it's okay if the certification has lapsed. Enter the registry number into the claim, including the WI. Double check it for missing, extra, or transposed digits, and then upload the student's completed form with the claim. The next set of slides pertain to claims for certifications eligible for the Student Completion Awards associated with a small subset of certifications. The certifications that make a student eligible for the $500 Student Completion Awards, SCAs, remain the same as in previous years. Emergency Medical Responder, EMR, Emergency Medical Technician, EMT, Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, and Fire Inspector. A Student Completion Award claim uses the same claim as the District Incentive Grant, but unlike the District Incentive Grants that pay only one grant per student, students can be paid $500 for each SCA certification earned. There are multiple paths for documenting certification. Currently, we allow evidence supporting the claim to be either that the student took and passed the certification exam and is on the certification entity's registry, or that the student successfully completed WTCS coursework in preparation for taking the certification exam. Because multiple awards might have been earned, we absolutely need a separate claim for each award earned so that we are able to determine eligibility for each award. Unsubmitted claims result in the students not getting the money that they otherwise would. Plus, it creates a terrible issue for us to keep records accurate if we've already closed a grant year, published reports, and a student comes forward to ask where their money is. We request that districts establish local processes to ensure that every potentially eligible Student Completion Award certification is identified and submitted. You may adapt the CNA form mentioned earlier to include the 5 Student Completion Award certifications and ask your students to complete the form and share it with an identified staff person at the school. This will help a district know that all potential student completion awards are being submitted, as well as ensure, to the greatest extent possible, the accuracy of registry numbers and permanent mailing addresses. We don't want students missing award money when they've earned it. If a district recognizes that it missed submitting SCA claims after the claim submission deadline, it should notify us as soon as possible. Although it's not an easy process, DPI can create a claim so that the student's eligibility for the award can be determined. The earlier this happens in the claim review cycle, the easier it is. However, the district will not be eligible for any district grants associated with DPI-created claims. Special attention is needed for claim accuracy for both the district incentive grants and the student completion awards. There are different certification entity options for each SCA certification. The type of documentation you have determines which certification entity needs to be selected. EMR certifications can be issued through the NREMT, DHS, and WTCS. EMT certifications can be issued through those same three entities. Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, and Fire Inspector certifications can be issued through either IFSAC or WTCS. All student completion awards must be submitted under BNI, even if your documentation is from the technical college. When you create your claim, you'll be asked to provide a permanent mailing address for payments that will be made the following June. It takes until June of the year following graduation for us to have gone through all of the claims and have payments set up for the students who achieved the student completion awards. We need a mailing address submitted with the claim so that we know where to mail the checks. If you later learn that the address has changed, please try to notify us of a corrected address, but don't send the new address via email. Instead, give us a call. Sometimes a district will know when a family moves because a younger sibling's address has changed. Continuing to look at the Student Completion Award certifications, this slide shows which certification entity you should choose. If you have documentation issued by the National Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians, you must choose the NREMT as the certification entity and then select either EMR or EMT. NREMT registry numbers with TCTP in them are ineligible because that designates student status and that the student didn't complete the certification process. Also, we are unable to verify registry numbers with asterisks. Because you'll provide us with the complete registry number, no documents need to be uploaded except if there is a name mismatch. If you have documentation from the Department of Health Services, DHS, you'll submit the student's registry number for either the EMR certification or EMT licensure. Again, the registry number makes it so that you provide the complete registry number, but don't have to upload documentation unless there is a name mismatch. If the International Fire Services Accreditation Congress, IFSAC, issued the certification, you must choose IFSAC as the certification entity and provide the registry number. If you have a copy of the IFSAC certificate, the registry number is on the certificate, and it begins with an A for Firefighter 1, a B for Firefighter 2, or an N for Fire Inspector. Again, because you will provide the registry number, no documentation needs to be uploaded unless there is a name mismatch. If your documentation was issued by a technical college, you must upload a copy of the technical diploma or certificate of course completion, or else a properly prepared unofficial transcript. Details on properly preparing transcripts will be provided on later slides. In all cases, SCA claims are to be submitted under the business and industry category. The claims portal is organized so that once you select business and industry as the certification category, then select the certification entity, your options will narrow to only the certifications available for that entity. The annual training for submitting claims has a demonstration of how that works. Please feel encouraged to bookmark this training and the annual claim submission training for future reference if you have difficulties as you submit the claims. This slide is included again in the presentation under the Reference Slides section. You can verify registry numbers provided to you by the students by searching each certification entity's registry. The table on this slide provides links to the certification entity's registries. The text showing for the links includes enough keywords to allow you to be successful finding the search tools via an internet search, or you can refer to the slide deck of this presentation once it's published to the DWD CTE webpage. Remember, use the registries only to confirm registry numbers reported to you by students, and do not use them to identify students' registry numbers. This slide is provided again in the Reference Slides section. The previous slides showed registry options related to student completion awards. The next set of slides provide course numbers when the student is not on a registry but completed WTCS coursework. The courses will be provided on slides in the Reference Slides section as well, but in a table format. EMR claims using WTCS issued documentation should use the program number 30-531-0. The only option for an EMR claim through the WTCS is for the course to be specific to EMR and include EMR in the title. For an EMT claim being supported by documentation issued by WTCS, use program number 30-531-3. EMT is an approved WTCS program that begins with one of the approved prefixes, so many transcripts will show that the technical diploma was earned. This slide shows additional options of coursework, 5 credits of a single course or of different classes. There is the possibility of some additional outlier courses, so if you have questions, contact the program lead before submitting a claim. For a Firefighter 1 certification supported by a WTCS transcript, use program number 10-503-0. The slide shows coursework options with course numbers. Different technical colleges offer the different options, including the Fire Recruit Academy through Madison College. If submitting a copy of the Certificate of Course Completion for Fire Recruit Academy, make sure it's signed and dated. Some of them are coming through signed, but are missing dates, and we end up requiring a signed and dated one to be provided. There may be some additional courses not listed that would qualify the student for the award. If the course or courses on a transcript aren't on the slide, but you're sure that the student is eligible for Firefighter 1 through Tech College coursework, contact the program lead before submitting a claim, and we'll investigate. This slide shows the options for a Firefighter 2 claim being supported by WTCS documentation. Use program number 10-503-0. There are 2 options. The first option is completion of Firefighter 1 plus taking an additional class that is on the list. Course numbers are provided on the list. As with the other SCAs through the technical colleges, there may be other courses that would qualify the student for the award, so reach out to us if you think this is the case. The second option is the Fire Recruit Academy through Madison College. Fire inspector claims supported by a WTCS transcript will use the program number 10-503-0. There's only one course that is approved. It is the fire prevention course. Certified Pre-Apprenticeship, or CPA, claims are similar to B&I claims regarding document preparation. CPA claims require a certificate to be uploaded with the claim. The certificate must be signed and dated and issued by either the Bureau of Apprenticeship Standards, BAS, or the training provider. The program must have been certified by BAS before the date on the certificate. CPA completions will be verified by BAS. The next set of slides covers preparing WTCS documentation. Remember, All student completion award claims must be submitted under the BNI category, even if WTCS documentation is being used to support the claim. The next slides apply to WTCS issued documents, whether the claim is submitted under the WTCS category, as most will be, or the BNI category, as all of the student completion awards must be. WTCS claims require program numbers and documentation to be uploaded. Documentation may be any of the following. Unofficial transcript requires proper preparation, or a copy of the diploma, pathway certificate, or certificate of course completion. If you have both a transcript and a copy of a certificate, using the copy of the certificate may be easier for you because of the preparation required for the transcript. The program number must begin with one of the following prefixes: 10-, 30-, 31-, or 61-. Program numbers are in the format of 2 digits, 3 digits, 1 digit. Some colleges' transcripts have the program number printed along with the name of the technical diploma or certificate earned, but some do not. Do not use course numbers to try to figure out the program number. They're not the same thing. If you don't know the program number or program name, check with the registrar at the technical college. If using a technical college transcript to support the claim, make sure that you provide accurate information. It's the district's responsibility to ensure that enough information is showing on the transcript for the reviewer to be able to verify that the transcript supports the declared program number. The best way to ensure that the reviewer is able to easily verify the documentation, thereby not denying the claim or marking it as changes needed, is to make sure the information is available at the time you submit the claim. Some transcripts are easy to figure out, but many are not. Transcripts have a section on awarded diplomas and certificates, if any were awarded. Reviewers need to see the name of the diploma program or certificate awarded and its corresponding program number. If the transcript is missing information, or you have questions about the information provided, conduct the necessary research to help you submit a claim with correct details. If the college doesn't display the information on its website, you can try contacting the college's registrar to get it. Remember, the information has to be accurate for the year in which the certification was earned. If the transcript doesn't have the diploma or certificate awarded specified, and you're unsure if a student actually completed an eligible program, confirm with the college which diploma or certificate the student actually earned, the date it was awarded, and the required courses for the year it was earned. As an example, one of the most complicated types of transcripts is for welding. There is an associate welding program with many semesters worth of courses and smaller certificates that can be earned along the way. It's uncommon for a student enrolled in the welding program to complete the entire program in high school. More often, the student will have completed one or more of the certificates that lead up to the diploma. Then there are other students who complete just a portion of only one of the certificates, making the claim ineligible. In order to verify the claim and documentation, we need to know the name and program number of the diploma or certificate actually completed and that you're basing the claim on. The reviewer needs to know and/or see the following: the college name, a name match between that on the transcript and that of the student under which the claim was submitted, program name of the diploma or certificate program completed. This may be handwritten if the transcript wasn't provided with it. If the transcript was not provided with the diploma or certificate earned, we need to see which courses on the transcript are the ones relevant to the claim and that they were passed. And districts are to highlight the courses on the transcript that support the claim. The reviewer is not expected to guess or research which courses apply or what the program completed might be. The program name must match the provided program number. The program number is to be in that format of 2 digits, 3 digits, 1 digit. Then we need to see the date that the diploma or certificate was awarded, or else the dates that required courses were completed. The image on this slide shows everything that the reviewer needs to see when the degree awarded information is provided on the transcript. The green redaction is for demonstration purposes only. Of course, the actual transcript would show the student's name. Reviewers don't need to see any course or GPA information when they can see that the program was successfully completed. You can see in this example that the district added the program number because the transcript didn't include it. On this slide, we see how the district properly prepared the transcript when the awarded certificate information was not provided. The district added the program name and number, as well as the name of the technical college, because the transcript didn't have them printed on it. The added information could have been handwritten. It was highlighted. Also highlighted were only the required courses for that CNC operator certificate. The grades are showing because the reviewer needs to know that each required course was passed. Also showing are the dates of the courses because the reviewer needed to know when the courses were undertaken. In this example, the district was mindful of redacting student data that was not necessary for the purpose of the incentive grant program. This would be the GPA and courses and grades unrelated to the claim. The next set of slides offers tips to proactively troubleshoot common technical issues and to serve as a quick reference as you add claims to the portal. Sometimes the document has a different name on it than what is in WISE data for the student. If this happens, please do the following. Create a signed statement on school letterhead. The letter must include both names used and state that they both belong to the student under which the claim is being made. The statement is to be signed by someone with the authority to sign the letter and who has access to the student's records. Upload the letter with the claim at the time that the claim is submitted. Do not include reasons for the two names. Do not include other documents such as court documents. All we need is the letter with the two names, the attestation, and the signature and title of the person signing it. The information on this slide was already covered, but it happens so frequently that I want it included with the other troubleshooting slides. If an unofficial transcript lacks the designation of the credential earned, meaning that no degree awarded information is provided, the reviewer needs to know what on the transcript the district is indicating supports the claim. By doing all of the following, you'll put your district in the best position for an easy review and avoid unnecessary follow-up that's required when you don't do all of the following. Write the name of the completed program. Write the program number in the format. Highlight the courses required to earn the certification and the grades earned. Highlight the semester and year undertaken. Signatures are more than a formality for a certificate. We consider a certificate to not be official without a signature. Also, we need the date of the certificate issuance. If you have an unsigned or undated certificate, try the following before you upload the documentation with the claim. If you have authority to create or print certificates, try to reprint the certificate with the date and/or electronic signature. If the required signatory is unavailable for signing, do one of the following. You can use a stamped signature or have the principal sign and date their signature, write on their title, and briefly explain on the certificate why the designated signatory is unable to sign. All of this can be handwritten. Although youth apprenticeship claims don't require documentation to be uploaded with the claim, they do require completed paperwork to have been submitted by YA's deadlines. We understand that many districts rely on an expansive network of people to implement their YA programs, and that the person submitting the claims is often not the person responsible for ensuring accurate and timely submission of YA paperwork. Districts should develop internal processes to ensure that every YA claim has corresponding paperwork uploaded to the YA database by YA's deadline later in the year. The system needs a name match, as mentioned in a previous slide. We still see cases where YA is missing registration paperwork. This is problematic. Make sure that the registration paperwork is on file. Finally, make sure that the completed checklist has been uploaded to the YA database by YA's deadline. Also, please have someone do a quality control check before the claim submission deadline. Sometimes claims are submitted before the student has completed the work requirements, under the assumption that the work requirements will be completed. The final quality control check will identify any claims in which the student didn't actually complete the program. You can delete the claim as long as the claim submission deadline hasn't passed. Confirming graduation status and data are two items that should be on a district's quality control checklist for claims. Before submitting claims, make sure that each claim is for a graduate from your district. Only the district on record for graduation is able to submit a claim for a student. If the student earned the certification while attending a different district, then moved to your district, you can arrange with that district to get them their money. The statutes are clear that the student had to have graduated from the district that submits the claim. The other really big thing is to make sure that your district has provided both pieces of graduation data for every one of the students for which your claims are being submitted. The system checks for both pieces having been reported by the DPI imposed deadline. If either is missing, the claim won't be approved for pay in the last step that the system makes. Be sure to have your district include in its checklist that someone is responsible for providing the information to DPI by DPI's deadline, and that the person actually followed through so that the system can properly evaluate claim eligibility based on graduation status. It doesn't necessarily need to be done by the claim submission deadline, but doing so will reduce chances that it doesn't get done by DPI's deadline. The next set of slides are more for reference than troubleshooting. This slide provides the same information on nurse aid and CNA as provided earlier, but in a different format. To summarize the issue, district staff members frequently confuse nurse aid with certified nurse aid. Nurse aid certifications qualify for the district incentive grants due to the program beginning with one of those required prefixes of 10-, 30-, 31- or 61-, just like any of the other WTCS approved programs. However, CNA qualifies for the district incentive grant because it meets the requirements under the business and industry category because the student took and passed the industry certification exam, not because the student passed the WTCS course. This slide shows the claim details to select based on the documentation that you have. Certifications of students who attended training offered outside of the technical college system and who become certified can be eligible for the incentive grants. The next set of slides pertain to Microsoft Office Specialist claims that are frequently marked as changes needed or being ineligible. In a nutshell, the district staff needs to know if their district has receipts for licenses used for students to earn the certificates being used to support the claims. Submit MOS claims only if your district can provide evidence that it purchased the licenses. You don't need to upload the proof unless asked for it, or if the program lead advised the district to upload an email from a previous year that indicates eligibility where otherwise the claim would appear to be ineligible. This slide summarizes the details and issues presented earlier, so I won't read the slide. This slide was also shown earlier. It synthesizes all of the options for the Student Completion Awards and helps you identify the proper selections in the portal for each one. The annual training released each year in June offers a demonstration of making selections and navigating the portal. Please be sure to participate in the live webinar or view the recorded version to better understand how to enter the claims. You can come back to these slides if you become confused about the options once you're in the portal. This slide was explained earlier in this training. It shows the information necessary to check the registries for accurate registry numbers and the dates of registration. This slide takes a closer look at the EMR certification specifically. It expands on details for the WTCS course requirements and program number to use. Specifically, the WTCS course must have EMR in it. The information is here for reference, so I won't cover the details. This slide takes a closer look at the EMT certification specifically. It expands on the details for the WTCS course requirements and program number to use. Specifically, the Technical College System's EMT program consists of 5 credits of EMT as either a single course or a series of courses, of which both or all are required. Successful completion should result in obtaining a technical diploma as an emergency medical technician. This slide compares the details of IFSAC certification and WTCS course completion for all 3 of the fire services certifications. Students who take and pass the certification exam are issued an IFSAC registry number, which is used as the evidence to support the claim, and no other documentation is required. When the student completes WTCS coursework but hasn't passed IFSAC certification exam, the WTCS option is used. The next 2 slides cover the required courses for WTCS Fire Services course completion. This slide is provided to you as a reference for the required courses for a Firefighter 1 claim when you're using WTCS course completion as evidence. The 3 paths were discussed in previous slides. This slide shows the required courses for a Firefighter 2 or Fire Inspector claim when you're using WTCS course completion as evidence. When preparing your documentation, remember to highlight the course or courses that are relevant to the certification. These next slides provide contacts for resources and assistance. You can reach the Incentive Grant Program lead at DETCTE-grants@dwd.wisconsin.gov or by calling 608-733-3887. You have access to web-based resources and assistance through the DWD CTE webpage. Once on the landing page, you can find technical assistance, approved certifications lists, forms, updates, etc. DPI's resources include its own CTE webpage. And if you have difficulty with or questions about the CTE TIG claims portal, you can submit a help ticket using the link in WiseDash or using the link provided on the slide. Thank you for participating in the CTE Incentive Grant Program and supporting your students as they prepare for careers. If you haven't already done so, please take a look at the other training available to you through the DWD CTE web page's Training and Resources tab. This concludes this training session.